You know the feeling: Sunday night fire, Monday morning vows, new plan, new playlist, new planner pages. By Thursday, the ink is dry, the zeal is gone, and the old pattern is back sitting on your couch, eating your resolve. Then you say, next Monday I'll really start. Hear me, that's not a motivation problem. That's a governance problem. Write it down. You don't need more desire. You need government over yourself. Your week keeps resetting because your life is being managed by feelings instead of law. Inspiration makes promises. Government delivers policies. We have believed a dangerous lie that feelings are a reliable engine. Feelings are wonderful indicators. They are terrible administrators. You can't run a nation on moods, and you can't run a life on emotions. Principles are laws, they never change. You can ignore law, but you can never disagree with it. If you jump off a building, gravity won't consult your playlist. It will enforce its policy. In the kingdom, success is not a miracle. It is the predictable product of obeying law. Honesty is my only policy. Write this down. Inspiration is a visitor. Discipline is a resident. Inspiration knocks on the door. Discipline holds the deed. Motivation starts you. Government sustains you. And what you don't govern will eventually govern you. If you won't legislate your appetites will legislate your schedule. If you won't regulate your time, urgency will auction your hours to the highest bidder. If you won't codify your standards, culture will rent your convictions for the weekend and return them stained. Let me define a word we will live by in this journey. Keys. Keys mean access and authority. Keys don't entertain you, they open doors. No one applauds your key ring, but every door respects it. Self-discipline is not a mood, it is a key. It does two things: opens what is lawful to you and locks you inside your convictions. Tweet this to somebody right now. Your future is being negotiated by your daily decisions, not by your Sunday declarations, by your Monday disciplines. Lead with your life. This session is a parliament, not a pep rally. We are drafting a constitution for your character. We will recover kingdom order image before dominion, so power never outruns integrity. I will give you 5 kingdom keys, and each key will come with 4 parts. A definition so your mind is clear, a principle so you know the law, a self-audit so you face the mirror, and an apply today step so it becomes lifestyle, not a sermon moment. Because systems, not spurts, create stability. Because character, not charisma, sustains destiny. Prepare yourself. We are moving from resetting to reigning, from emotional weather to constitutional weather, from visitors to residents. Write it down. Government over self is the beginning of freedom. Let us define our terms so we stop living by slogans and start living by statutes. Discipline is self-imposed law. Write it down. It is the decision to live by a standard you authored before the pressure arrived. Discipline is you becoming your own legislature, your own judiciary, your own police. It is the constitution you draft for your conduct. Treat this to somebody right now. Discipline is not what you feel, it is the law you live by. Feelings fluctuate, laws do not. You can't build a nation on moods. You can't build a destiny on emotions. Do not confuse discipline with punishment. Punishment is what others impose on you after violation. Discipline is what you impose on yourself to prevent violation. Punishment is a reaction. Discipline is a predecision. Punishment is a consequence. Discipline is a covenant. And hear me, discipline is love. It is love for your future, love for your family, love for your assignment. You don't chain yourself because you hate freedom. You chain your impulses because you love your destiny. A river is powerful because it travels within banks. Your life becomes powerful when it flows within your banks. Principles are laws, they never change. You can ignore law, but you can never disagree with it. Laws don't argue, they enforce. Laws don't ask how you feel on Thursday. They execute their policy on Thursday. Undisciplined living always charges interest. It looks cheap at the counter, then sends you a bill with penalties, lost trust, lost time, lost testimony. Write it down. The cost of discipline is paid up front. The cost of indiscipline is paid with compound interest. Character is self-imposed discipline. Character is what does not change at 2 a.m. on payday or when nobody is watching. Character is consistent, integrated, predictable integrity. If your yes changes with the room, you don't have character, you have company. If your standard bends under applause, you don't have conviction, you have a craving. Everybody can behave on a stage, only the disciplined behave in a secret place. Lead with your life. Audit yourself now. Who are you when you are tired? Who are you when you are praised? Who are you when you are alone? Who are you when you can get away with it? Who are you when the bill is large and no one will check the receipt? Who are you when someone attractive says no one will know? You say, Pastor, that's intense. Yes, because destiny is expensive. Honesty is my only policy. So establish your law before the storm. Write your standard before the stress. Codify your day. When you wake, what you eat, what you read, where your eyes are allowed to go, what your mouth will not say, what your hands will not touch. Laws don't care about moods. They create order. When you live by self-imposed law, you don't reset every Monday. You simply report for duty under your constitution. Character is the police, discipline is the badge, and your future is the jurisdiction. Lock it in. Genesis 1:26 is our blueprint. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion. Write it down. Image before dominion. God gives nature before authority. He gives character before influence. You can never disagree with the principle. God's order is not a suggestion, it is law. Dominion without image is illegal in the kingdom. That is why your life keeps resetting. You want results without resemblance. You chase outcomes without inner government. You want the palace without the prison that formed Joseph. You want the platform without the private purity that preserved him. Honesty is my only policy. Hear me. Power will not corrupt you. Power will reveal you. Promotion does not make you. Promotion magnifies you. Money does not change you. Money amplifies you. Attention does not improve you. Attention exposes you. That is why progress without discipline is dangerous. Success is pressure. Pressure squeezes the fruit that's already in you. If your heart is divided, increase will not heal it. Increase will split it faster. Write this down. Growth accelerates whatever you have been tolerating. If you tolerate secrecy, success will broadcast it. If you tolerate laziness, promotion will schedule it. If you tolerate flirtation, opportunity will consummate it. Tweet that to somebody right now. Look at your world: jobs, platforms, relationships, followers, microphones. Every new level is a louder speaker. A raise shouts your stewardship. A stage shouts your sobriety. A beautiful person interested in you shouts your vows. Power, money, and access, three amplifiers will test your image. That is why God insists on image first. Predictable integrity, integrated selfhood, one life. There is no such thing as a private life. The private is simply the preview of the public. Your future is already practicing in your secret place. Why do believers keep resetting every Monday? Because they are trying to manage dominion with moods. They sprint for results and neglect resemblance. They collect tools and ignore the template. They ask for more doors and forget the key is image. Write it down. God never gives you what your character cannot protect. If he loves you, he will delay you until your image can defend your influence. Delay is not denial. Delay is protection. The palace destroyed Samson because the bedroom had already defeated him. The palace preserved Joseph because the prison had already defined him. Power will not fix you. Power will announce you. So here is the order. Image produces authority. Authority produces policy. Policy produces predictable outcomes. Discipline is character in motion law applied to movement. Therefore, the next step is unavoidable. We must weld our image to daily systems so that character governs behavior automatically. Not occasional inspiration, consistent legislation. Not Sunday fireworks, weekday statutes. In the next movements, I will give you keys, and keys will become routines. And routines will become reputation. Because in the kingdom, we do not reset, we reign. Lead with your life. Image first, then dominion. Key number 1, convert desires into convictions. Write it down. Conviction is a pre-decided conclusion. Desire negotiates. Conviction legislates. Desire asks, how do I feel tonight? Conviction declares, this is the law every night. Midnight is a bad time to write a policy. The storm is a bad place to draft a constitution. Tweet this to somebody right now. If it isn't a conviction, it will become a conversation. And conversations with temptation always cost you. Here is the principle. What is not decided in advance will be decided in the moment by appetite. An appetite is a terrible king. Appetite is emotional, impatient, and illiterate. It doesn't read futures. It only reads cravings. Laws don't tremble. Appetites do. Laws don't ask permission. Appetites always beg. When your standard is a mood, your destiny becomes a victim. When your standard is a law, your behavior becomes predictable. You can never disagree with the principle. So we codify. Draft your kingdom constitution, 5 to 10 statements that govern health, money, time, purity, speech, and devotion. Post them, read them daily, enforce them. Examples: I do not lie, I do not steal. Then he entertain what will enslave me. I do not negotiate with temptation. My eyes are in covenant. I do not click what corrupts. My body has a schedule. Exercise and rest are non-negotiable. My money has an assignment. The first belongs to God. I live below my means. I do not spend emotionally. My time is stewarded. Mornings begin with the king. Evenings close with review and repentance. My mouth is regulated. I do not gossip. I do not complain. I do speak life and truth. Honesty is my only policy. These are not aspirations. These are statutes. Laws don't inspire you. They instruct you. Laws don't flatter you. They form you. Self-audit right now. What do you currently do that proves you have no conviction in that area? Where are you still considering instead of concluding? When dessert calls, do you debate or obey your standard? When an invoice can be padded, do you calculate a story or honor your policy? When an attractive message slides into your DMs, do you flirt with the chat or flee by conviction? When a friend starts tearing someone down, do you join the chorus or exit by law? Your repeated negotiations reveal where you lack legislation. Write it down. Ambiguity is the oxygen of temptation. Apply this today. Choose 3 non-negotiables for the next 7 days. Simple, clear, measurable. Write them. Tell one accountable person by sundown. Put them on your phone lock screen so your log greets your eyes before your impulses do. Set alarms named by your convictions. Post your constitution where your morning meets your mirror. Read it aloud at wake and at rest. Why? Because laws must be posted and policed. Convert desire into decree. Decree into routine, routine into reputation. Lead with your life. Key number 2, submit to principle, not mood. Write it down. Submission is your agreement to operate under principle. The kingdom does not run on impulses, it runs on law. A disciplined believer doesn't live by feelings, they live by laws. Tweet that to somebody right now. You can never disagree with the principle. Principles are laws, they never change. Gravity doesn't pause because you are emotional. If you step off the roof during a breakup, gravity will not offer counseling. It will enforce its policy. Seed time and harvest doesn't stop because you are tired. It keeps its appointment with every farmer who keeps his. Discipline is simply you aligning with reality before reality educates you with consequences. The Monday reset exists because you build your plans on emotion. You whisper, I feel like waking early. I feel like eating clean. I feel like praying more. Then Thursday arrives and your feelings file for vacation, so your plan collapses. Feelings are wonderful servants. They are terrible masters. Emotions make great indicators. They make disastrous administrators. You don't set your national budget by the weather, and you shouldn't set your life by your mood. Write this down. Mood is weather. Principle is climate. Climate governs. Weather varies. So replace I feel like with I operate by. That is the language of law. Build a rule-based life. Sleep rule. I sleep by schedule, not by scrolling. My alarm is a decree, not a suggestion. My pillow is a covenant with my future. Prayer rule. First words to God, not to the feed, knees before keys. Scripture before screens. Phone rule. My phone sleeps in the kitchen. It does not sleep with me. Notifications are off during focus blocks. I don't let other people's urgency auction my attention. Food rule. I eat by plan, not by craving. Sugar is a scheduled guest, not a squatter. Water is non-negotiable. Spending rule. I do not swipe without a plan. The first belongs to God. I say before I spend. 24-hour delay on every unplanned purchase. Write it down. Rules are rails. Rails make speed safe. Audit yourself right now. Where are you demanding results while rejecting the principle that produces them? You want harvest without sowing. You want fitness without sleep. You want clarity without solitude. You want wealth without budgeting. You want revelation without meditation. You want trust without consistency. Honesty is my only policy. If you despise the law, you forfeit the outcome. Apply this today. Choose one principle-based rhythm and keep it for 7 days, regardless of mood. Same wake time, same devotion slot, same workout window. Rename your alarms. Policy, prayer, and push. Post a rule where your eyes wake. Tell one person to ask you daily, did the law run your day? Keep a simple log, obeyed or violated. No essays, just evidence. Why? Because laws don't care how you feel, they care whether you obey. When your life becomes rule governed, your results become predictable. Lead with your life. Key number 3, build a values to lifestyle change. Write it down. Beliefs produce values. Values produce morals. Morals produce ethics. Ethics produce character. Character becomes lifestyle. You can never disagree with the principle. This is the cascade of your life. If the belief is wrong at the top, the behavior will be confused at the bottom. If the value is unstable in the middle, the habit will be temporary on the street. Tweet this to somebody right now. Your habits are simply your values made visible. Let me define simply. What are beliefs? They are the truths you accept as reality. What are values? Values are the things you value, what you protect, prioritize, and pay for. What are morals? Morals are your internal standards, what you call right for you. What are ethics? Ethics are the rules you practice in community, what others can expect from you. What is character? Character is your consistent, integrated self, what you are at 2 a.m. And lifestyle? Lifestyle is the movie of your character, what we can predict about you daily. That chain never lies. It is why you can't sustain a habit you don't value, and you can't maintain a standard you don't truly believe. If the belief is merely a slogan, the value will never pay the bill. If the value won't pay, the habit won't stay. Here is the diagnosis. Many of you don't lack plans. You lack values that will fund the plan. You say you value health, but you secretly value comfort, so the bed vetoes the job. You say you value purity, but you value approval, so compliments purchase your boundaries. You say you value diligence, but you value pleasure, so entertainment evicts focus. You say you value stewardship, but you value image, so the outfit outruns the tide. Write it down. Your calendar reveals your creed. Your budget reveals your beliefs. Your screen time reveals your sanctuary. Honesty is my only policy. Audit yourself right now. Pull your last 4 weeks of appointments. Who gets prime time? That's your value. Pull your bank statement. What gets automatic access? That's your value. Look at your screen time. What app receives your devotion? That's your value. Evaluate your punctuality. What does your lateness prove you disrespect? God, people, purpose? Ask the hard questions. What does your spending prove you worship? What does your scrolling prove you seek? What does your silence in conflict prove you fear? Practical exercise. Identify the top 5 values you currently live by, not the ones you claim, the ones your evidence supports. Write them. Now lay them beside kingdom values: stewardship, purity, diligence, humility, service. Circle the collisions. Wherever your value contradicts the kingdom, that area will continually sabotage your discipline. Why? Because values vote every day and they outvote intentions. Apply this today. Rewrite one vague value into a measurable ethic. I value health becomes I walk 30 minutes daily and stop eating at 8 p.m. I value honor becomes I arrive 5 minutes early and send confirmations the night before. I value stewardship becomes the first tenth belongs to God. I auto transfer 10% to savings on payday. I impose a 2-4-hour delay on all unplanned purchases. I value purity becomes no private chats after 10 p.m. with the opposite sex. No secret accounts. Devices sleep outside the bedroom. Post it, practice it, police it. When values become ethics, and ethics become routines, character becomes inevitable, and lifestyle becomes stable. Lead with your life. Key number 4, close the private life myth. Write it down. There is no such thing as a private life. Privacy is where hypocrisy is incubated. Secrecy is where integrity is assassinated. Honesty is my only policy. In the kingdom, holiness and integrity are the same word in 2 uniforms. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. God is one. Holiness means oneness. Integrity means integration. To be holy is to be one, not 2, not 3. The disciplined life is one life. When you become one, you become stable. Tweet that to somebody right now. Why do you keep resetting every Monday? Because you live in compartments. There's church you, there's work you, and then there's secret you. The secret you keeps voting against the others. Compartmentalization is the enemy of consistency. When your life is divided, your energy is divided, your focus is divided, and your witness is divided. You pray like a saint and browse like a stranger. You testify in public and negotiate in private. You fast for clarity and then flirt with confusion on your phone. You can never disagree with the principle. Duplication always creates instability. If your character has 2 versions, your future has 2 outcomes, and the worst one usually arrives first. So we close the myth by codifying transparency, laws, not vibes. Write these rules and post them. I keep nothing on my device that I cannot show my spouse, my pastor, or my mentor right now without editing. I hold no conversation I must delete to preserve my image. I do not spend in a way I must hide to preserve my approval. My passwords are shared with my accountability. My calendar is visible to my counsel. My money has a paper trail that can preach. There is no such thing as a private life. Lead with your life. Audit yourself. Who are you at 2 a.m.? What tabs do you open when the house is quiet and your conscience is sleepy? What message thread would terrify you if it were read aloud during worship? What expense, if exposed, would collapse credibility with your spouse, your board, your team? Who knows where you are when you needed air? If it becoming known would destroy your trust, then it is already destroying your character. Write it down. Secrecy is slow suicide. Apply this today. Install one safeguard before sundown, a content filter on every device, shared passwords with a mature, same gender accountability, bank alerts that notify your spouse or mentor of every purchase, screen time limits with a passcode you don't control. Then schedule a weekly integrity review, same day, same hour, Sunday evening at 7 p.m., for example. Open devices, open statements, open calendar, open heart. Ask and answer 3 questions. What did I hide? Where did I bend? Who helped me stand? Close in prayer, confession, and a plan. Laws don't care how you feel. They care that you obey. Become one, and you will become stable. Become stable, and your Mondays will stop resetting. Lead with your life. Key number 5, pre-decide your 3 character tests. Write it down. 3 things will test your character: power, money, and access to sex. Every downfall you have ever watched, read, or wept over was negotiated in one of these rooms. You don't rise or fall by talent. You rise or fall by what you do when tested. Tweet that to somebody right now. First is the power test. Power is simply the moment you can do it and nobody can stop you. When the title is on your chest, when the password is in your hand, when the microphone is yours, do you serve or do you dominate? Power does not corrupt. Power reveals corruption. You can never disagree with the principle. Write a law: authority equals responsibility, not privilege. That means I use position to lift, not to lord. I make decisions that cost me before they cost others. I do not retaliate with access. I do not weaponize information. I do not demand perks I have not paid for in sacrifice. I create structures that restrain me: shared approvals, transparent calendars, recorded meetings. Why? Because rulers need rails. If you can be stopped only by your conscience, you are already dangerous to your future. Honesty is my only policy. Second is the money test. When the numbers increase, do you become generous or greedy? Money is a magnifier. It will shout your values into the street. Write it down. If you won't tithe at 100, you will not at 100,000. Set percentages as law, not as emotion. The first belongs to God, non-negotiable. I give beyond the first as a lifestyle, not as applause. I save before I spend. I live below my means. I operate a 2-4-hour delay on unplanned purchases. I do not hide cash. I keep receipts. I invite oversight into my accounts. Budgeting is not poverty. Budgeting is policy. If you won't let numbers tell you no, numbers will teach you grief. You can never disagree with the principle. Third is the sexual opportunity test. When access is offered, are you for sale? Integrity is who you are. When biology is loud, an opportunity is private. Pre-decide your fences. I do not meet privately behind closed doors with the opposite sex, windows, or third person present. I do not text romantically after 9 p.m. I do not travel alone with temptation. When I travel, I report my schedule and hotel to accountability. I do not counsel what I should refer. I do not nurture secret friendships. I flee, I don't flirt. Joseph did not negotiate with Potiphar's wife. He ran and kept his destiny. Samson did not run. He chatted and lost his eyes. Write this down. Your body is not a democracy. It is a monarchy under the king. Let me stress test you. If someone offered to pay your mortgage for one night, would you sell your destiny? If an investor said, we can fix your cash flow if you just move this line item, would you print a lie? If the promotion meant you could silence a critic, would you use your power to punish? If nobody would find out, would you still not do it? That answer is your character. That answer is your future. Apply this today. Draft 3 pre-decisions. 1 for power, 1 for money, 1 for sexual opportunity. Write what you will never do, where you will never go, what you will never hide. Add the positive, how you will use power to serve, how you will allocate income by percentage, how you will flee by policy. Sign it, date it, send it to your spouse, your pastor, or your mentor before the sun goes down. Then post it where your eyes live. Laws don't care how you feel, they care that you obey. Pass these 3 tests repeatedly, and your Mondays will stop resetting, your life will start reigning. Lead with your life. Now we implement. Write it down. Keys become freedom only when they become a system you practice daily. Principle without practice is theory. Practice without structure is chaos. You can never disagree with the principle. What gets scheduled gets done. What gets measured gets managed. Tweet that to somebody right now. If you want to stop the Monday reset, stop treating your life like a surprise. Law is a calendar. Discipline is a clock. Order is oxygen. Here is a simple, brutal, liberating 7-day kingdom discipline protocol. 1 fixed wake time, 7 days straight, including the weekend. The sun does not negotiate, neither do you. 2, 1 fixed devotion slot, same chair, same Bible, same start. First words to God, not to the feed. Knees before keys, scripture before screens. 3, one health action, choose one. 3, 0-minute walk or a simple body weight circuit, or a food boundary like no eating after 8 p.m. 4, one spending boundary percentages as law. The first belongs to God. Auto save before you swipe, and a 2-4-hour delay on every unplanned purchase. 5, one purity boundary, pre-decide your fence. No private chats after 10 p.m. Devices. Sleep outside the bedroom, windows, or witnesses in every closed door meeting. 6, one service act daily, use power to lift a call, a meal, a note, a task that costs you and blesses another. 7, one nightly integrity audit, 10 minutes before bed to review your law. This is not complicated. It is consistent. Laws don't care how you feel. They care that you obey. Your nightly audit is your mirror. 4 questions every night, same page. What law did I keep today? What law did I break? What triggered it? What boundary will I adjust tomorrow? Honesty is my only policy. Write your answers. Don't philosophize them. Evidence over excuses. Tomorrow's policy is born from tonight's truth. Now pruning. Write it down. Remove what removes you. Discipline often begins with subtraction. Delete the app that steals your dawn. Unfollow the voice that sells you compromise. Cancel the subscription that funds your distraction. Change the route that passes your weakness. End the conversation that rehearses your sin. There is no such thing as a private life. Secret portals are public traps. If it drains your law, it drains your future. You can never disagree with the principle. Community now. Integrity loves accountability. Hypocrisy hates daylight. Choose one mature, same gender person and set a weekly report, same day, same hour. Send 3 numbers, wake time kept, 7/7 or the count, devotion kept, audit completed, add 1 paragraph, wins, violations, adjustments, no spin. Tell them to ask you, did the law run your day? Apply this today. In the next 15 minutes, schedule the next 7 days. Wake time, devotion slot, health action, service window, audit time. If it's not on the calendar, it's not a conviction. Post the schedule where your eyes live. Rename your alarms. Law, word, move, audit. Set your pruning list and execute 1 cut before sundown. Simple, brutal, liberating. Do this for 7 days and your life will stop resetting. It will start raining. Lead with your life. Write it down. This was not a motivation problem. It was a governance problem. You didn't need more desire. You needed government over yourself. Discipline is not self-inflicted punishment. Discipline is self-imposed law. Image before dominion. God gives character before power. You can never disagree with the principle. Then we laid the 5 keys like rails. Convert desires into convictions. Write the standard before the storm. Submit to principle, not mood laws. Don't care how you feel. Build the values to lifestyle chain. Your habits are your values made visible. Close the private life myth. Be 1, not 2. And pre-decide the 3 tests. Power, money, and access to sex. Tweet that to somebody right now. Keys become freedom when they become system. Now hear your identity. You are not a slave to appetite. You are a steward of a kingdom. You were designed to rule yourself before you rule anything else. Dominion begins with your own body, your own mind, your own minutes. Holiness is oneness. Integrity is integration. Be 1 person everywhere. 2 a.m. you and 2 p.m. you must agree. Lead with your life. When your life becomes law-governed, your results become predictable. Final absolute. You can ignore principles, but you cannot disagree with them. Principles are laws. They never change. Every reset is a receipt from a violated law. Every breakthrough is a reward for alignment. Gravity does not counsel, it enforces. Seed time and harvest does not pity, it produces. Laws don't ask how you feel, they ask whether you obey. Honesty is my only policy. If you despise the law, you forfeit the outcome. Now the public moment. Write it down, say it out loud. Tell somebody today what your new standard is. I lock myself in the prison of my convictions. I do not negotiate with appetite. I do not lie. I do not hide. I do not betray my future for a feeling. Knees before keys, scripture before screens. My money serves mission. My power serves people. My eyes serve purity. Post it, practice it, police it, report it. If it's not on the calendar, it's not a conviction. If it can't be read aloud, it shouldn't be done at all. There is no such thing as a private life. Let me warn you and bless you at the same time. Success without discipline is self-destruction. Talent without character is a grenade with the pin half pulled. Opportunity without order is a trap. But discipline is not bondage. Discipline is deliverance. Law is liberty. Consistency will become your testimony. I am the same yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Image before dominion. Character before power. Principle before mood. Go now, schedule it, prune it, submit to it, and live loudly. In 7 days, you will feel the gears catch. In 70 days, you will have a reputation. In 700 days, you will have a legacy. Self-discipline is the kingdom key that turns your life from restarting into reigning. Lead with your life.